Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Christine Veronica Johannes, and this is my final video. And this video, I will talk about three communities or tribes. The first one is Amish community, the second is Native American, and the last one, and B, the special one, is Moy tribe. Let's get started. Okay, let me show you the screen. Okay. Okay, the first Amish community. The Amish are a loosely connected network of conservative Anabaptist communities that originate in Switzerland. They split from the Mennonites in Switzerland between 1693 and 1697. Amish communities are easy to identify from their horse-drawn buggies and wagons and 17th century clothings. Okay, let me talk about more detail about Amish community. The first is Old Order Amish. The Old Order Amish constitute the large group of rural Amish settlements descended from the Amish community, Mennonites, I'm sorry. Older Amish community often prohibit the use of bottoms and zipper. For example, they also wear dark colors, mostly black. The community regulate hair length. Men must grow braids and acceptable length, and women are not allowed to get haircuts. Older Amish people also oppose cursed buildings, preferring to meet in individual homes. This reflect their awareness and organized religion in general. The next New Order Amish. The New Order Amish, sometimes called the Amish Brotherhood or the New Amish, are Amish settlements that grew out of the old order Amish communities in the mid-20th century. They are similar to the old order Amish with slightly relaxed rule governing dress and technology. Colorful clothing is permitted, and men are allowed to trim beards. The community allows some modern technology like telephone, tractors, even airplane travels. The next is Beachy Amish. The Beachy Amish broke from the old order Amish at the turn of the 20th century, largely because of disputes over evangelicalism in the United States. And the group is more relaxed when it comes to technology and dress than other Amish community on the grounds that they don't find biblical reference that prohibit the use of button, zipper, and some other basic innovations. They also allow cars and home electricity. And the last one is word Zenterber Amish. This word Zenterber Amish are a subset of the old order Amish, known for being even stricter than most old order Amish people and for having lower standard of living. They are quicker to excommunicate and even more isolate from any known Amish people. The next screen. Okay, Amish race. Like I was talk before, Amish dress. Look at the picture I was put this in the PPT. Amish men wear string cut suits and coats without collars, labels, or pocket. They resemble the new jacket of the 17th and are called mudza suits. And let me explain more about the dress, Amish man dress. And okay, young men are clean 7 prior to marriage, while married men are required to let their braids grow. Sedangkan younger boys dress a lot like their fathers, with the exception that they usually wear light their colors. The men will wear navy blue denim pants, while the boys may wear a lighter blue version of the same fabric. Okay, next. The right side is Amish women. Typical wear solid color dresses with long sleeves and a full skirt, cover with a cape on the bodice. Some less conservative groups allow women to wear short self dresses but never sleeves. Okay, let me tell you the detail about Amish women's dress. Most Amish women make their own clothing. Purchasing the fabric in a local store is usually run by a woman in their church community. The broader fabric market is driven in the fashion industry. Miles typical don't just manufacture a fabric without an ad and market in mind. Eventually, the mothers of the young girls will pick up on the fabric and full-blown rush in on. While fashion changes sometimes in the English word every season and every year, a popular fabric will last 3 until 5 years or more in every year. And Amish community. Amish women never cut their hair. Remember, typical wearing it in a braid or on the back of the head concealed with a small white cap called a covering. Coverings vary widely depending on the groups they belong to. The variation come in the size of covering, the strings, and how they are worn, and the number of folds or creases in the back. Okay, that's all about Amish community. Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry. I have more information about Amish community. Okay. This I will talk about the Amish and the horses. The horse and buggy often is the first thing people look for when entering Amish country. While there is no restriction on the horse breed the Amish use, for Australian breed, race horse are most commonly used for pulling baggage, and drive horse usually the heavy pull and work in the belts. Okay, the Amish horses is divided into, let me tell you, into 3 types of horse. The first horse is standard breed. The standard breed mainly is bred for use in harness racing, While they have the ability to center, they generally have been trained to trot or pace because a racing standard break already has been broken to pull up cart. The second type of Amish horses is American saddlebred. The American saddlebred is another breed commonly used to pull a buggy or hack. The third and be the last one is draft horses. A majority the old order Amish and all of these Schwarzenberg Amish still do not use tractor or other machines in their field. Instead, they really rely on a drive horse or a team of drive horses to pull plows and other farms equipment. The most common drive horse breeds are the Percheron and the Belgian drive horse. Both are powerful, hardworking, delicious horses. Docile horses, I'm sorry. Next, I think that's it. Yep, we start talk about Native American. Native American, also known as American Indians, First Americans, Indigenous American, and other terms are the indigenous people of the United States, sometimes include Hawaii and territories of the United States, and other times limit to the mainland. There are 50, 57 federally recognized tribes living within the U.S., about half of which are associated with Indian Reservation Native American. As defined by the United States Census, are indigenous tribes that are originally from the contiguous United States along with Alaska Native. And then wait. I'm sorry. Many thousands of years before Christopher Columbus, ships landed in the Bahamas. A different group of people discovered America. The nomadic ancestor of modern Native American who hiked over a land bridge from Asia to what is now Alaska more than 12,000 years ago. And in fact, by the time European adventure arrived in the 50th century, these scholars estimate that more than 50 million people were already living in the American. Of this, some 10 million live in the area that would become the United States. As time passed, these migrants and their descendants pushed out and it's adapting as they went. In order to keep track of these diverse groups, anthropologists and geographers have divided them into cultural areas or road grouping of contiguous people who share similar habitat and characteristics. Most scholars break North America, excluding present Mexico, into stands pre-sim culture areas. That's the information about Native Americans. And the special one is Moy tribe. Let me next this. Okay. The Moy tribe is one of the tribes in Papua, they inhabit Sorong City, so Sorong Regency, and Rajampat. There are several sub-ethnic, namely Moy Legend, Moy Abun, Moy Karon, Moy Klabra, Moy Moit, Moy Segin, and Moy Maya. That's the namely. And then, okay, next. Okay. From generation to generation, the Moy have now traditional conversation called Yegak or band. Yegak has even been taught by traditional teacher called Antonati Antulkama, the traditional student called Uliwi. Science and planning education in a traditional house Kambik. So Kambik is a house of Moy tribe. Kambik is a house to where where children from Moy tribe to get knowledge to do learn and or study and Cambridge. I think, yep. And then the important food, the basic or the central food in Moy tribe is sagu. Consuming sagu as a source of carbohydrates is important for the indigenous people of the Moy tribes, as well as being a staple and main food. Apart from rice, for the people of the Moy tribe, sago is a local food ingredient that's still consumed by the community today in the form of papeda and sagu purna. In general, the sago produced in the form of wet sago can be used as an ingredient that is directly processed as a ready-to-eat processed product. Yep. Next, we talk about Noken. Noken or minya is a traditional Papuan bake period, but the head and made of bark fiber. Similar to bake in general, this bake is used to carry daily necessities. Okay, you know what interesting about this Noken is that only Papuan are allowed to make Noken. Remember that. Women in Papua since childhood have had to learn to make Noken because making Noken from the past until now can symbolize the women's maternity because if a Papuan woman has not been able to make a Noken, she is not considered an adult, and that is a requirement for marriage. Noken is met because the tribe in Papua need a container that can move goods to other places. Noken is made from manduan tree wood, Nawa tree, and forest orchid, and many other commonly used tree species. Papuan usually use noken for various activities. The large noken called yato. Remember, the large noken is called nato. I'm sorry, yato. Is used to carry goods such as firewood, crops, groceries, or even to carry children. Medium size one called gap Gapago. Remember again, the medium size of Noken is called Gapago, are used to carry moderate amounts of grocery and the last one you have to remember, you need to remember the small size of Noken is called mitute, are used to carry personal items. The unique needs of Noken also function as a keepsake giving for guests who usually first set foot on Papua and are used in ceremonies. Remember, the large size is Yato, the medium size is Gapago, and the small size is Mitute. Okay, I think that's all my presentation. I apologize for all my mistakes in this video. I hope you enjoy and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.